Hello, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Hi, Ken here at the Stamps of Life in Orange County, California. Welcome. I see there are just a few of you here today. Hopefully, some more show up. It seems pretty quiet today. Maybe there's nice weather and nobody wants to be here. So, anyway, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. We're here in Orange County, California, in the Southern California area. We're about halfway between Los Angeles and San Diego. And my name's Ken. I'm one of the owners here at the Stamps of Life. And once a week, we do this episode called Take Two Tuesday, where we get together and we look at some items from the past here at the Stamps of Life. We're a card making company. You could use a lot of the items for scrapbooking or just other DIY paper craft projects, but lots of stamps and dies. Well, we have a lot of items from the past that nobody knows about. So we call this Take Two Tuesday. This is a second chance for you to be introduced to these stamps and dies. So for a lot of you, it's new because you've never seen them before. And then for a lot of you, you already have these items. This is a refresher and a reminder. So that's what we try to do once a week. We gather together. We will have some fun. I'll have a couple different items to share with you today. I'll show you how they work quickly. I don't make full cards, but I can show you how to die cut with them and stamp, give you a little bit of ideas. And we always have some card samples I'll share with you. We'll take a look at these items on the website so you know where to find them. And there are usually extra videos on the website. Sometimes Stephanie demos the items there. So if you want a little more information, you can find that on the videos on the website, on the product pages, and then the card ideas will be there too. And then what else? So we'll review those. We'll have some fun. Usually we do some fun facts. So we try to learn something each week. And I also have a special quiz designed just for 8th graders. Yes, 8th grader quiz. So we're going to go back in time. We're going to pretend we're 8th graders today. And our goal is going to be to pass this 8th grade test. I think we can do it. If we fail, it is a pretty sad commentary on us, right? We should be, if we were going to do something designed for 8th graders, we got to get it all right. So we'll work together on that. What else? We'll do at the end of the episode, we'll do our good news devotional time. We are in Proverbs chapter 15. We'll read a verse out of there, and then we'll try to figure out some ways to apply it to our lives. And there's a couple of extra verses to look at. So we'll do that at the end. So if you have a Bible, or if you have a Bible app or something on your tablet that you can read, you might want to check that out. If you're just kind of listening to me in the background while we're going through these items, you can read through chapter 15 of Proverbs. That'll kind of get you caught up. And then we'll do that at the end, and then we'll call it a wrap. So that is our plan for today. It's warm out here. It is finally feeling like summer weather. This place goes from cold to hot really quick. So today is a nice day, so I'm going to enjoy it here. Next week, it might be crazy hot in this because I heard the weekend's supposed to be pretty hot here still in Southern California. So we will see. We will see. Let's see what else is going on. Hello, let's jump in here in the chat and see who's here. I better say hi to everybody. So I do have a question for you guys. This is for fun, and you know how I need everybody to participate, okay? More tongue twister. More participation is better. So if you would participate, I'm going to ask you this question, and you can answer it in the chat. Now, if you're not watching this live, you can still answer too. Maybe you won't get to answer in the chat live, but in the comment section down below, add your comment. If you have any questions, you can ask questions on there. If you have a prayer request, you can also post that in the comment section. I'll read those and watch for those. So always do that, okay? So you're not missing out on the fun. But my question for you who are here live with me, and let's see everybody that's here. We have Teresa. Hi, Teresa, and Amanda. I don't think I've seen you for a while here, Amanda. It's good to have you. Danielle's here. Any update? Danielle wants to know on the Happy Summer die. It is another item stuck in customs. Yes. I'm hoping this is the last one that is stuck. So if you went on the website looking for the Happy Summer folded die set, should have been there today. You know, we've had some problems with the items in the last few weeks. I think this is the last one that is stuck. Don't hold me to that, but that's what I think. And I'm trying to talk Stephanie into when all these items come back that we're going to do like a special customs we cleared custom special event one night, and maybe Stephanie will demo all the items. We'll make a big deal out of that. is, I hope, was what the plan will be. So yes, some items are still stuck in custom. Who else is here? Veer Blue is here, and Ivy in Hawaii is here. Awesome. Melissa and Dawn. I love Tahula. She's in Irvine, not too far away. And Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. Phyllis, Diane, Betty. Welcome all of you. Karen. Let's see. My question for you today. Now this is just for fun, if there were actually 25 hours in a day and you had 1 extra hour a day, what would you spend your time doing in that 1 extra hour? If you had 1 extra hour and you had the freedom to do anything you wanted, what would you do? What would you do with that 1 extra hour? That's my question for you, okay? So that is just for fun. Post that answer in the chat, and that will kind of get us going. And then remember, if I ask any questions during this presentation, try to answer, because again, more activity is fun and it gets you more involved. It makes me again feel like I'm not just talking to a camera all by myself. And one last thing, if this is getting recorded, okay, everybody. So if you jump in late, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. It's going to get posted, and I will post it again. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of stuff too. And you'll be able to watch it if you missed it live. Okay, so no big deal. Whoops. Is that working there? I'm just trying to get my name on here. So again, this is Take Two Tuesday. We are going to have some fun together. Let's get rolling. The first thing I will let you know, we just kind of spoke about it. Let me find this real quick. Does that work? Yes. The items that should have been on the website are not all there. So that being said, yeah, let's see. Our website. Let me show you what's going on there, because there are still a couple new items that you might be interested in. Where is that? Where is that website? There we go. So if we were on the website, let me switch you over there real quick. We have a new cardstock pack, which is nice. We haven't done one of these for quite some time. So I wanted to make sure that you did see this. I think that's good. There we go. We have a couple of new items on here. Where am I? Am I on here? No, not that one. What did I do? There we go. If you are on the website, you'll see the Chic cardstock pack. So that is not brand new colors, but colors that have never been part of the 6-pack of colors that we do. We've had like set 1, 2, 3 for many, many years, but this is a new one. We've kind of rebranded them and given them names. So this set includes, let me show you what's in here. Really nice colors. Flamingo, Orchid, Pacific, Peacock, Sunshine, and Poppy are all in this set. And you get four sheets of each. So includes 24 sheets altogether. So that's a fun way to kind of get an introduction to our different color palettes, and they will kind of coordinate and can be worked together. So that's new on the website. And then we also did have the new gift, the limited edition gift wax seal kit. So that's there. Also, you can see right there the little image that you're going to be able to make with this wax seal, the little present. That's fun. And one other thing, now should have been up here. We should have had our, what was it? We should have had our happy summer right here. Bum, bum, bum. Sadly, it's not there. But if you scroll down, I think it's going to be on this page. This stamp set that was, oh, it's not even showing up. Let me see. If you didn't get the notify me button, if you didn't hit it, I still don't even see it. What is going on here? It seems like it would be showing up. Well, if you were looking for this America background stamp set, is back in stock. Not sure why it's not showing up. I'm going to write myself a little bit of a note there, but if you just type in America, you're going to find it. It was sold out. It just came back in stock last night. And of course, there's a lot of fun ideas here. Look at that. Really nice for background. So if you're doing a picnic 4th of July, we have Memorial Day weekend coming up. If you need cards for anything like that, this one's back in stock. And it has sold out before, but it's available again. So I wanted you to know that. Okay, that's on the website. All right, what else? Don't forget this Thursday, as usual, we have Stephanie's Crafting Corner. Okay, that will be Thursday. Join us then. Stephanie's Crafting Corner. Thursday will be on YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff. Let me check your guys' answers because I didn't do that. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Crafting Corner on our comments. Oh, I have a new thing to do. Let's see if it's. Damari says it's not on the website. Right. Type in America. Is that the one you're looking for, Damari? Just type in America. It should show up. So let's see our answers, what we're going to do with that extra hour. Our extra hour. Teresa says she's going to craft. Melissa says craft. Betty says she'd probably sleep more. I might do that one too, Betty. Make cards, Teresa says. I think we're all in agreement, Danielle said. Amanda, sleep. Sometime maybe somebody wants to go for a walk or get out some fresh air. I might play on the piano for a little bit, practice some piano. I might do that. Diane says she just needs an hour to catch up on life. That's sometimes just a good thing to do, I think, is to just take an hour to do nothing. That would be healthy for all of this. Phyllis said crafting. Debbie said she would read her Bible. Awesome. And Ivy said she would also do her daily Bible reading. Good job. All right, so let's continue on here. I think I had one other thing to update you on. Oh, if you are not a Stamp Club or a Die Hard Club member, we're about halfway through. What are we at? The 20th. Yeah, this collection is just going to be available for a few more days, and then we're going to be switching on the 1st to a new Stamp and Die Hard set. So if you think you want to get the truckers, let me show you these over here real quick. You can get them on the website. And actually, this item is on the website right now, and that's not popping up either. So if you've been waiting to get the dies, let me get number 2 here. The trucker dies, they are available on our website. I'm going to try to fix my lighting here real quick before this starts blinking. We're going to have a blinking light. Okay, I've got that. So the trucker dies, these are available. So if you were just a Stamp Club member and you were waiting to get these, you can get them now. If you're not in any of the clubs, they are now available to everyone. If you want to get the stamp set that matches it, it is also on the website. It's been on the website all month. But if you want to join the Stamp Club, you would get this item here. Your idea card would come with it. If you want to do the Die Hard Club, you get the stamps, the dies, and the postcard. Stamp Club starts at just $13.99 a month. You get a couple welcome gifts if you join either one of these clubs. You start earning club points. You get your club discount on the website. All kinds of good stuff. Okay, that's the trucker collection. And so that's available. Sign up. If you sign up today, it'll probably ship out today. We get these out fast to you, okay? These go out fast. So a couple of card ideas here. They can be kind of, Stephanie would say, feminine, kind of a girly look, light pinks and light colors. And you can also have a little bit more of a masculine look too. I saw some with a fish or a flag. If you need some ideas for guys, we have Father's Day coming up or Memorial Day or something like that. So this one is very versatile and it's been pretty popular. So that's on the website. Okay, that's everything. Let's get going. We are moving on to our first item today. Oh, I have something fun. I'm going to see if this works. Where you see me on the screen, there's going to be a little bit of an overlay on the right, and it's going to show your guys' chat. So when you post something, I think if I can, this screen is pretty small, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to read the writing either. If you're like on a phone, maybe a tablet, you might be able to see. But the writing's going to be kind of tiny, but all the comments are going to show up right here. So I'm going to turn that on and see if it's still working. This is something new that has been added as a service here. So let's do that and see how it works. So I can see the little bubble there, but I don't see any comments. Where are the comments? Somebody make a comment there just for fun. I want to see if it shows up. Because there should be a box here with comments. I'm going to write testing here and see if this, tell me what your weather is like. where you are. That'll make some things happen here. So I'm going to write testing. Hey, there we go. See, so it's supposed to fill in. How about that? So that's kind of cool. Your chats will show up there right on the screen when I want to add that. Now, if everybody's nice, I'll leave those. I can leave those running, but every once in a while we get a bad apple or somebody who's not happy. I will have to turn that option off. But anyway, that's kind of fun. So that shows up on the screen, and I'll leave that running for a while. That will remind me that you guys are on the chat, because some of the time I forget that. Remember how I talked about I'm here? Oh, I feel like I'm here all by myself. It's because I'm not paying attention to the chat. So this will remind me, if it's that little screen down there, that you guys are here and getting involved. And again, anything we're talking about, if you have a comment about one of the products, maybe your experience with it, maybe you want to ask a question, you can try. I can't always see the questions, but I'll try. You can ask questions in the chat. And then like when we get to our devotional time, if you have any extra comments or thoughts, we always love to hear from you in any of the segments. I don't want to just be here by myself. Boring. So let's make it fun. Okay, let's make it fun. Our first item today is, and these are different items, but they kind of coordinate together. We have the Let's Stay in Touch stamp set. Let me find the information for you. Now, this might block you guys out a little bit. Sorry, when I might have to add these little media information things to the other side, but I didn't know that I had this new option of showing the chat. So let's see. This is the Let's Stay in Touch stamps. Where are they? This one? Yes. So I'm going to block you guys out here for a minute. Sorry. So Let's Stay in Touch clear stamps. December of 2021 they came out. December of 2021. So it's got a lot of fun phrases on it. Hello, my friends. Well, let me show you on the website so you can see what I'm looking at. That'll be cooler. So Let's Stay in Touch is the stamp set. And remember, our clear stamps are made in the USA out of photopolymer. You're going to get real nice impressions out of these. And so there you see the stamp set. It has a total of 11 stamps on it, and it has a bunch of greetings on it. And so we're going to do some fun facts about greetings today. We'll do that in just a second. So you can see there's hello, my friend. So you decided to retire. Good call. Call me. I miss you. I don't like to text. Sorry, I'm not a smartphone. I love calling you my friend. Just wanted to say hello. Reality called, so I hung up. So there's some funny ones on there, okay? Now, we do have some cool ideas. I really like all the stamping ideas from our design team. Hello, friend. There. It looks like an A2 size card with some dotted rectangles, maybe. There's that little phone added to that. That's a good combination. Hello, my friend, with our tortoise. I think that's torty to stamp. And there's hello with our big, that is actually a folded telephone that we have added to, I believe, a 5x7 card front. And then hello with some rounded corners, a rounded corner die set. So that's all on the website. There's our phone again. So that is a neat one. Now you see there are some, we have a couple more phones here. I didn't want to miss out on these. And hello, it says there on the inside. And there's your video, more information. Now, if you scroll down, you'll find the dies that go with it. Hello, my friend, word die set. Now, this die set, there are a total of, let's click and see. And I'll switch over on that. Hello, my friend. This is also from the same time, December of 2021. So we're almost 3.5 years back on these. If you have them, I hope you've been using them. But these are just a fun way to say hello, remind somebody that you're thinking about them. And we always talk about that. That's important for people to know that you care, that you think about them, that you took the time to make a card for them. Really nice. So let's look at the ideas here. How many dies you get? It says 6 dies. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get the shadow and the letters. These letters are separate, so you can kind of mix and match them and really make them colorful. I'm not sure about these ones. If these are connected, they look like they're connected, but that F and that exclamation definitely look like they're out on their own. So those might be broken up a little bit. And let's look at the card samples. There's the dies. Hello, my friend. And just look at these fun ideas. Hello, hello, my friend. You can add one of our little images to your greeting card. Hello, my friend. With the sunshine, I think I have that one here with me. Hello, my friend. There's our Little Peeps dog, I think, and Little Peeps frog and dog. We got them both. Hello, my friend, it says. So you see a bunch of great ideas. Now these stamps and dies, they do work together. They do kind of coordinate together. So you have the option to use them together if you like, or you can use them separately. These are new to you. They are available on the website. Let me show you the cards that I have. I have a few, not a whole bunch. We're shorter amount of card samples today. These are going back a little bit in time, and I don't think I kept my my cards as, I wouldn't say organized, but in places where I can find them as much as I do today. So just a few card samples. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. And here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. So this is the Hello, my friend. Die is here on this one. And here's using the stamps. This is the Let's Stay in Touch stamp set. We saw this one. Again, the stamps being used. Hello, my friend, with the tortie. There's that nice combination. Stephanie says usually you want to go with odd numbers if you're embellishing like that. So she's got 3 little gems on there. That's nice. And then one more time, just using the dies on this one. Hello, my friend. And again, that's just on an A2 card. But you can see just a few embellishments. And you add some images, decorate. We got some pattern paper there in the background. Lots of fun, easy to make. So that is those. Before we go on and demo these items, let's go ahead and we're going to do some fun facts here, okay? Let's do our fun facts. Let me see if I can get rid of that for a second. So our fun facts today have to do with greetings. And there is some interesting things about greetings. Now, some of these are going to be funny. So be prepared. Some of these are funny. You're going to have to laugh. This will give you a reason to laugh today, but it has to do with greetings from, I think, other parts of the world. Yes, I think I have it here. Okay. I think I'm going to try to leave that up so you guys can read it. The writing's kind of small, so if you can't read it, I totally understand. Because if you're on a phone, or yeah, it might be kind of small, but we'll give it a try. So here is our fun facts about greetings. Okay, greetings, fun facts. We'll learn something kind of international. Think international. How do other people greet each other? Here in the United States, hello is a big thing. And I saw there's a whole variety of different ways, like the words hi or hey there, or all these different greetings that come from the word hello. They're all derived from that. Actually, hi was a word. What else? So anyway, here we go. In the United States, a firm handshake accompanied by a friendly hello is a one-size-fits-all approach, while cheek kissing is far less common than in other cultures. The United Kingdom keeps it cool with a simple hello for friends and a handshake when making a new acquaintance. This is tricky. So if you ever go to the UK, however, don't be surprised by a quick peck on the cheek in a more casual setting. So you might get a kiss if you're in the UK, and they might not shake your hands if they already know you. If you're brand new, they're going to shake your hand. Okay, in France, France delights in the double cheek kiss, a gesture shared freely among friends and upon arrival and departure, a tradition even the little ones learn. Let me see if I can get your guys' chat back up there. See, I already forgot that you're here with me. Gail's supposed to be teaching. Don't let those kids go crazy, Gail, while you're not watching. I know what kids can do there. Where did we go? There we go. We'll get that back on the screen. That should show up there again. Okay, good. So in Japan is known for its respectful bows, a contrast to the casual Western handshake and the warmth of a hug. So you just bow if you're in Japan. No hugging, no shaking hands. In Arab countries, it's common for close male friends or colleagues to exchange hugs and kisses on both cheeks. When shaking hands, the right hand is used exclusively. So here, see, we got some rules in other countries. Be mindful of interactions between men and women. Direct contact is discouraged. And Hungary offers a lesson in versatility with cheek kisses among friends and firm handshakes upon first introductions. Belgium's universal greeting involves a single cheek kiss regardless of gender. China opts for more subtly, like a nod, a smile, or handshake reserved for formal interactions. Russians greetings may be robust, a bone-crushing handshake for men and a softer one for women. Albania and Armenia show diversity even within Europe, with everything from handshakes to cheek kisses. Yes. In some Pacific Island cultures, the traditional nose pressing gesture called the hani, maybe Ivy knows about this, is similar to the, I don't know how to say the words, and signifies the sharing of one's breath of life. So you push your nose against somebody else. That is definitely different. In Tibet, now this is a good one. Sticking out your tongue can be a welcome gesture, a practice that historically ensured the person you were greeting was not a reincarnation of a cruel 9th century known for his black tongue. How about that one? So if you're in Tibet, you're supposed to stick out your tongue at the people you see. And they were looking to see if your tongue is black. It's kind of crazy. Inuit communities involves a greeting where you press one's nose and upper lip against someone's cheek or forehead and taking a deep breath. This is a sign of affection typically reserved for loved ones. Okay. Probably don't want to do that in the USA. You might get punched or something like that, right? Now, it says, keep in mind, this is a snapshot of global greetings. Hand gestures, too, can be a minefield. So I would recommend that if you're going to a different country, you might want to Google this ahead of time, not to get yourself in any trouble. Let's see. So here we go. And for instance, so here's some things to don't forget. A friendly wave in many cultures might be seen as brash or dismissive in East Asian or European countries, where it could signify, no, don't even come here, as it does in India. So don't just wave at somebody. You have to really greet them if you're in East Asia or Europe. The hand counting customs differ interestingly, as Germans and Austrians may interpret your index finger as 2, and in Japan, a thumb signals 5. Huh. So if you want to say number 2, you got to go like that if you're in Germany or Austria. And if you want to say 5, you have to put your thumb up if you're in Japan. I thought it would be 5 like that, but no, this means 5. Inviting someone over with a curled fingers motion is generally impolite outside of Western context. It is often reserved for calling pets, like places like the Philippines and East Asia. So I guess you're not supposed to curve your fingers like that. You're supposed to put your hand out and go this way or that way, or no curling. That's for the animals. Pointing with an index finger is considered rude in many cultures, emphasizing the importance of using hand gestures judiciously. Yeah, don't point at people, right? Even if you're saying something nice or something fun or interesting about them, probably not good to point at people. So there's a few things about greetings. And again, don't do any of the ones in the US that might get you punched or slapped or something like that. Be careful. Be careful. I think in the USA, nice hug, or if you know somebody really well, a good hug, a handshake. I don't know about all that kissing on the cheek and all that kind of stuff. Be careful. Okay, we're going to look at these items. Let's do that now. Who else? Some people are jumping in. Great. Welcome, all of you. Make sure you jump in the chat. Okay, yeah, Barbara said there's some strange stuff there. You're right, Barbara. Rita's trying to keep warm. 47 only. Wow, we're around 80 here in Southern California. Hey there, Ruth Debbie or Debbie Hummel, a.k.a. Good morning. Good morning to you. All right, let's check these items out. We'll move over to our crafting table. And I'll switch my cameras around. And this should get over there. There we go. All right, we are going to, let's see, what can we do with these? Well, let me first show you how easy they are to stamp, because they really, really are. So again, this is the Let's Stay in Touch collection of clear stamps. When did we say? From December of 2021. These originally came out. I bet some of you have them, and I bet some of you have forgot you even had them. So it has all those nice sentiments on there. Hello, my friend, are the big large images, and kind of like the stars of this one. So we're just talking about making greeting cards, hello, reminding somebody you're thinking about them. So I just have some basic white cardstock. Show you how easy these are to stamp with. If you're new to stamping, I have what we call a Stamper's Secret Weapon, this black thing. It's just kind of like a soft, squishy pad. It gives something between the hard block here, this is a clear block, and the table. When you stamp just onto something hard, you don't always get the results you're hoping for. Some of the time it works out great, some of the time not so great. But when you have this little extra cushion underneath you, it can really make a difference in your stamping results. So I'm going to get out the hello stamp here, and we are going to stamp that. So I will add that here. Then we'll come back and we'll do a couple of the little sentiments too. Now I'm going to center that a little bit better so you can see it. And I've got my ink pad here. And the key, a lot of the time you want to give these a test run before actually maybe you put it on a card that you've done a lot of work on, because you don't want maybe something to be a little bit off on the image, or maybe you don't get the ink to fill in exactly how you'd hope. Maybe you've done a whole bunch of work on the card and then you go to stamp and the image doesn't look good. And all that work you've done is kind of down the tube. So you want to make sure you don't do that. It's best to test these. I tested these yesterday. They were working great. Key here is we just want to make sure that all of this really fills in with ink. That's all you have to do, especially on a big image like this. And again, since I know I stamped it yesterday, it's going to come out really nice. So I don't know if you can see that, but you see how dark it is now? Before they're much clearer. I'll show you the little ones. These are without ink, and here's something that is filled in with ink. So you really want to make sure all those lines are filled in. And you're just going to take that down to your cardstock. Go ahead and set it down. And you want to give some nice pressure on all parts of the image in order to make sure that it all gets applied evenly. And so there you see I did miss one little spot there. See that? So I'm going to try again. But it looks really good, except you see I did not fill in that little spot right there. So I missed one little spot with ink, but the rest of the image is perfect. So let's give it one more try. Yesterday I didn't miss anything, so I'm surprised that happened. Let's give it one more run. And I'll make sure that center of that E has a lot of ink in it this time. And I'm going to go ahead and double check. It all looks like it's filled in to me, even though I thought the first time I had it. Let's go again. One more time. Okay, there we go. So you can see the difference. All I had to do was make sure there was some ink here. Missing on this one, it's right there. So that looks good. So that would be ready to go. Let's do a couple of little letters, the smaller sentiments. See how those work out. I'll just grab the top ones here. This one says, reality called, so I hung up. That's a good one. And then let's see, what's our other one? I don't like to text. There you go. Now I'm a texter. What about you guys? That'll be a question for me. What do you guys like to do? Do you like to, when it comes to phones, do you like to text more, or do you like to actually call people? What is your preferred way to communicate? Texting or calling? Texting or calling? How do you like to communicate when you use your cell phone? Texting or calling? I like to text. Not everybody can answer their phone all the time. Then the text message is there. I really like when somebody calls me and they're able to leave a message. Like if I don't recognize the phone and they can leave a message, and then the phone company sends us a message that of what was left. Like it's like an answering machine, but they transcribe it for you. So that's really nice. Then you can kind of see what the message was about. So do you like to, when you use your cell phone, do you like to call people, or do you like to text? No right or wrong answer. We just want to know what you like to do. So here we are with a couple of the smaller images. I'm pushing these down. I wasn't really paying attention to how I inked everything up, but they look pretty good. So there's I don't like to text, and reality called, so I hung up. So those are a couple of the images there that are available on this Let's Stay in Touch stamp set. What is your favorite way? Add in the chat. Do you like to call people? Do you like to text them? Now, old school days was only you could call, but nowadays we can text and get right to the point. We have a little bit of written history of what was said, which is nice in case somebody forgot a message or a date, or they need a reminder, they might find that information. So that part I like too about text. Okay, we got those, and let's see, what are we going to do next? Let's go ahead and die cut. And I'll have to zoom out a little bit. And let me check the chat here, because I know that's going, and see what everybody says they like to do. Oh, Don says one of the greetings in Jamaica is that everybody likes to hug. That's good. Amanda says she prefers to text. Karen says texting. Barbara likes to call. And Teresa likes to call. Sylvie says texting, and Betty says texting. Paula's a texter, and Kellyanne says usually texting. Marcy says call or voice messages. Yes. Janet likes both. Don likes to text. Text these days, says Ellen. And Paulie says comments on the bottom of the screen. What? Melissa said, yeah, I added the comments on there. So this is a new, if you guys can see that overlay on the right corner, it shows some of the most recent chats. So kind of everybody can see what's going on in the chat, which is good, because I know some of the time people who are on YouTube or on Facebook say they feel like they're not as involved because we don't have as many Facebook viewers, and they might only see the Facebook comments. This way you can see all the comments that are popping up there on the screen. So I think actually that's going to be a good system. So we'll try it out today. We'll see how it works out for Stephanie's Crafting Corner. We have a little bit more going on there, so I don't know if we'll leave that overlay on as much on the Crafting Corner, but it's an option. Okay, so we did the stamps. Let's go ahead and see what we can do with the dies. So 6 dies here, and I'm just going to grab the larger die to work with today. And it says hello. And these are all separate letters. They're really close, and they really almost touch each other. But when I went to peel them apart yesterday, they were coming out separately. And that's when I used, I did not use adhesive. So just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and try it with adhesive today and see what happens. Let me see if I have a partial adhesive sheet here today. I might not. So this is the adhesive sheets. We know we talk about them a lot. Stephanie loves them, and I tried to show you guys it is important to use them, especially with smaller letters like we're working with today. So these are pretty tiny when you go to peel them. So let's go ahead, and we don't need that much. I'm going to trim this down because I don't want to waste a bunch of it. But we're going to use a strip here. And the adhesive sheet will kind of make I always think of the most basic ways. It takes your die cuts, and makes them into stickers. So if you have this adhesive backing on there, it makes your die cut sticky. You don't have to go back and with a roller or glue or anything, go back and work with your stamps. So that is the key. Let's see, yesterday I did a little coloring. I just took some grape and kind of swirled it around. So we're going to run that through here real quick and see what we can get. I'll trim that down. And let's go ahead and add this to our cardstock. Make sure we line that up right. So this is going to peel. And here's the sticky part right here. And you're just going to take your cardstock. And I'm going to do it right above the die cut I did yesterday so I can kind of locate where I am. We'll add that on the back. So now it's not sticky on this side, but it's making our cardstock sticky. And we're going to go ahead and run our letters through here. And we're going to do a different color for our background. Let's find something nice and dark. Here's some black. I think we can use this. Have some old scraps here that we can use for our background. Who said Ellen said she just got her card kit today? Awesome. And her dad set. That's good. We do, if you were looking for the Terrific Tool, I want to mention the Terrific Tool stamp set. We do have a few of those available, but they're not on the website because I don't have enough of them to put on the website. So if you want the Terrific Tool stamp set, which was the one that had the dad and the tools and that different stuff, it's sold out. I have about 8 sets here at the office. So if you email Faylene at info@thestampsoflife.com, she can take your order for that and we'll mail them out. We can mail out the stamp set for you right here from our office in Laguna Hills. Unfortunately, I do not have the die set still, but I found 8 more of the stamp sets. So if you missed out on that when it came out on the website, you can get it from us just by emailing Faylene. Just so say, email her and say, Ken said you have some of the Terrific Tools stamp sets. I would like to get one. And she'll let you know how you can place your order for that. Again, it's not on the website. You have to email the office in order to do that. I just don't have enough to put them on the website, because if I put them on the website, everybody will get a notification that they're back in stock, and then they'll go try to buy them and they'll be sold out again. And then everybody will be mad at me. And I don't want to get anybody mad at me. I try not to, but you know, sometimes you just can't make everybody happy, and that is in one that would be one situation. Whose birthday is it? Shelly. Happy birthday, Shelly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you are celebrating your day, doing something fun. Make a card. Hopefully somebody sent you a card, really. So this will be our background. We did something dark there. And let's see what we can do with these letters. This part is, ooh, this is a little bit different. So they came out, which is kind of nice. Yesterday, they were really stuck in the die. So here's my H and my E. And then I can see the other ones are still kind of stuck in there. We'll leave those for now. I'm not sure how long this will take for me to peel these, but I'm going to try these. Glasses time. Here we go. If I want to see what I'm doing, I'll get my glasses out here. And so here's a little sticky on here. And this should just peel right off for us. And let's see what we get. If you can see what you're doing, this part really makes a big difference. So I've got that peeling off. And that's looking good. Good. You got to get this one other section because it's kind of separate. The shadowy part of this. Even these letters have a bit of a shadow. So this is a little more intricate here. And I didn't do this yesterday, so I'm not sure how my results are going to be, but I'll give it a shot. It's definitely going to be better having the adhesive on there if I can keep these together. So there we have our H. And let's see if we can go ahead and line it up there. Okay, there's our H there. Good. Want to try not to have those little black gaps in there. You can avoid it. Okay, there's our H. We got an H. And then let's go ahead and, I don't want to be here forever, but let's do an E. And then we'll call it a, let's see, can you see that? So there's our H. That's looking good. And let's go ahead and add an E. See if we can get this to peel off here. And we could do all 5 of the letters. The other letters are, this one, I went a little too fast. So let's see what happens on this one. So now I kind of, the outside, the shadow came apart from this one. So let's see if I'm able to get them to come back together. So that should be where the E goes. Now this inside part of the E, I got to try to get that to fit back in there. Okay, nope, that's not looking good. Nope. Let's see, what am I going to do? I'm not doing good on this one here. Try to get that to peel. There we go. All right. And I think that will fit right in there. Not bad at all. So just mixing some color. Again, I just kind of swirled. What do they call that? Guys, I can't think of it. When you take your, somebody help me in the chat. What do they call that when you take your sponges and you just kind of swirl your colors there in the background? Well, that's what I did, but I can't remember the terminology for it. Oh, I'm drawing a blank and I can't think of that. Anyhow, I used some of the sponges here. You can see the sponges I have. I use those and just kind of swirl some colors. You can choose any color you want or multiple colors. If you know that technique, add it in the chat because I can't remember. Can anybody help me out? No. Ink it. Blending. That is the word. Blending. I couldn't think of it. Blending. Thank you. Who said blending? Thanks, Betty. That was going to drive me nuts. I call it blending. Dabbing, inking, it could be all of those. I know it as blending. That's what Stephanie usually calls it. So some blending there. Get a nice couple of letters that look really good. That blending, going from lighter to darker, just really makes it more interesting. Now, if you want to, I'm not going to add them to my card, but I do have the other letters. I just want to show you they are still here. So I use my H and my E, and the L and the L and the O are still there. And just for the sake of time, we're not going to add that. But those other letters would just fit right on there, and you would have a nice hello that you could add to. Do I have any card fronts here? I'm not sure this is going to look good. No, that won't look too good. No card fronts. We're up. So again, I don't recommend this color combination, but to give you an idea, this is one of the doilies we did a couple weeks ago. And if you just wanted to make this a hello card, start off with this. Just take your hello and add that right to the top. You could pick the colors you want. This is not super bad, but the grape and the reds and the pinks don't mix and match that great, but it doesn't look terrible either. So that is the Let's Stay in Touch stamp set. Let's Stay in Touch stamp set. And then we had the Hello, My Friend Dies. And of course, you can create fancier and nicer cards like the ones I showed you earlier. Okay, so those are all options, things you can do. This is dies with the shadow. And you can see our designer chose not to use the insides of the letters here. I used the inside and the outside, but you have different options there. And then here it is stamped as well. So these are all real nice. Okay, that's on the Stamps of Life website. If you don't have it, they are there. If you do have them, I hope this encourages you to break out that old set. And the one that has been forgotten, you still have it, but you forgot you had it. And now you're going to say, hey, I am going to use that. I'm going to use that collection again. Okay, we're moving on to our next item. Let me find that for us. It is a Fold It. And I'm going to make the chat disappear here for a little bit. You guys can still chat, but I'm going to take it off the screen for a minute. And we're going to add this die set. It is a Fold It. And what year is it from? This is good because here we are just on the, how do you say it? The cuspus, almost to coming up really soon. Summertime. And we have the Stamps of Life. This is a 5x7 Sandcastle folded card die set. I think it only has 2 dies, but wow, it really has a lot. And you can make a really nice, large in charge card with it that you're going to be really happy to share. And I don't know if this would work, but if you have this die set, something you might want to give it a test out. If I had it here at the office, I would have tried. I wonder if this would work on sandpaper. What do you guys think? Do you think this would die cut sandpaper? And maybe it wouldn't work on the really chunky, thick type sandpaper, but what do you think about like a finer sandpaper? And that would kind of give you that kind of sandy look to your card. So if anybody has this die set and they have some extra sandpaper around the house, give it a try, see what happens. But I have a feeling that that might work. Again, I don't have any sandpaper to test it, but let me know, what do you think? Do you think that would work? Do you think this die would cut out sandpaper? Again, I'm thinking thin, what do they call it? Coarse, not the coarse, but more the fine sandpaper. What do you think? Do you think it would work with that? Now this has 2 dies in it. And let's see, what are we going to do? Oh, we're coming up with our game, so hang on with that. Remember, we're doing a 8th grader quiz today. So if we don't ace this quiz, it's really bad. I would guess that most of us have graduated high school and maybe did some college, or maybe we went through college. If we can't pass this 8th grade test, what can I say? So sad. So I do have a few samples. Let me show you those before we check this out on the website. So I see a couple of you are thinking about trying the sandpaper. Good, give it a try. Give it a try. I don't think sandpaper is expensive, and it might give you a unique, interesting look. And you might find maybe other ways that you can use sandpaper on a card that you hadn't thought of before. So think about that. So I'm trying to set up my samples here. Let me get that camera, and then we're going to do our game next, okay, before we demo this one. Whoops. what happened? Hey, my camera went off. Camera number 2 went off. Bummer. Did it run out of power? Give me 1 second here, everybody. This camera is kind of heating up. Let me see what's going on. I think it's dead. I think I ran the battery out of this camera today. Okay, well, I'm just going to have to show you these card samples here on camera 1. So no big deal. We can do it. Or actually, I will use camera 3. I think that will be best. I don't know if it's because it's hotter in here today, but the camera battery, maybe I just didn't charge it right, stopped working on camera number 2. So our display table is just gone. The camera's gone. Sad, sad, sad. But we can do it. We can do it. Let's switch over to camera 3 and we can still take a look at these. So here we go. This is something you could add to the front of a scrapbook page. If you had a calendar, or what else could you use this on? Scrapbook page, calendar. Maybe you want to make a banner, because look, this is not a fold-it. The designer just simply took the shadow and then the main die, and there you have a sandcastle looking image. They've colored in their flags, added a little extra colors there. You could go crazy and decorate your castle if you wanted. Here's one that is a fold it with a fold on top. Let's see if I can get that right. I dig you, it says. Look at that. Like nice kind of paper piece, and add your different colors to that. I dig you, it says. That opens on the top. Opens on the top. Next, I think this is where it made me think of this sandpaper, because this paper kind of has a sandpaper look, and I'm touching it, but it's not rough like sandpaper, but it made me really think of that. And so it says beach life, and they've added some shells on there. Again, this is top opening. If you want, your fold could be on the side. Could be on the side if you wanted. That's an option with that one. And then one more here. It says life is better with sandy toes. And our designer decorated that one really nice. Top fold. You're never too old to make sandcastles. I like playing in the sand with our grandsons. It's fun. They like to dig and build stuff, and then they step on their brothers, and then it goes bad. It starts out really good, the sandcastles, but when you have twin boys, twin grandsons, it can turn bad really fast. So that is our sandcastle. I had one more. This one's really cute. Sandcastle Princess. Now everybody's got to like that one, right? Sandcastle Princess. That is one of our, excuse me, Steffi dolls there on the beach. Okay, Steffi doll on the beach. And this one opens at the top as well. See just some of our little sparklies there. That looks really nice. I like this one a lot. Okay, let's do our quiz. Let me find remember, this is meant for 8th graders. So between you and I, we've got to get 100% on this one. So let me see. It says, can you ace the middle school quiz? So this is kind of, let's see, let me make sure I'm sharing this correctly. So this is a vocabulary quiz. We're talking about words. They're going to give us 4 or 5 options. We have to choose the correct one. I'm not sure how many questions there are. I'm guessing there's around 20. But in the chat, I need your help. You are going to answer in the chat down below. Make sure you answer the question with me. And I won't always pick the first person who answers, but if we get a bunch of people saying the same right in a row, we'll go with that answer. If we have a random one and I don't know the answer, then you guys are giving me all kinds of different answers. We'll just have to make a guess. But we are trying our best. We're going for 100% today. Again, I know we can master 8th grade homework, schoolwork. Let's give it a try. Let me get rid of this little box here. Okay, and I'm going to share this so you guys can see it. Here we go. Share a screen, and we are going to share. Can you ace the middle school vocabulary? Here we go. So hopefully you see what I am seeing there. Do you see this first question? Let me know. It says horse-drawn carriages right there at the top. Let me know if you see that in the chat, and we will get started. We will get started. And we're going to hit the restart button. Yes, we want to restart. And okay, I think we've got it. Let's see what you guys see. Yeah, I think you can see what I'm seeing. Everybody see that okay? Where are my comments? Yes, Barbara says. Sylvia says yes, she can see it. Okay, that should be on. All right, here we go. Question number 1. Let me see if I can get rid of that one. Horse-drawn carriages and bullock carts were the blank of modern-day cars. So horse-drawn carriages and bullock carts were the blank of modern-day cars. Which one of these works best? Predecessors, sequels, descendants, how do you say that? Precedents or successors? So these came before. Which word means before? Which word means before? Did I miss it? Where did they go? Our answers. Which one of these answers do I want? Which one of these answers do I want? So carriages and bullock carts came before modern day cars. Which word would I want? Who can help me out with that one? I think I have one in mind. Predecessors. Yes, I say that's predecessor. Ruth Debbie said, oh, hopefully, can you see now, everybody? Ruth said she couldn't see all the answers. So let's see. I think, yeah, everybody's saying predecessors. Okay, we're getting answers now. Good. Okay, I'll try to make that you guys, so everybody can see the answers. Predecessors, yes. Next question, number 2. Here we go. Again, we're just trying to outdo 8th graders. The storm has blank. We can leave for home now. Whoop. The storm has dwindled, abated, declined, diminished, or appeased. Ooh, that one's a little harder. That one's a little harder. I'm guessing, so we're thinking the storm has stopped. Which one of those words means stops? I think abated. What do you guys think? I'm phoning a friend right now. Abated, Diane says. I think it's abated. Dwindled means, it could be dwindled. Everybody's kind of saying, I've got a few more abated. And let's try abated. We're not 100% in agreement on this one. Yes, abated. Okay. If you don't know the definition of any of these words, write it down. And when we're done, you can go get a dictionary, or you can use your computer and look up the definition of these words and see if these were actually correct. Next question. Number 3, with your resemblance to Ronald, you can easily blank as his son. With your resemblance to Ronald, you can easily blank as his son. Ooh, this is tricky. I would have thought you could just pass as his son. You can easily pass as his son, but it says pass in, pass out, pass off, pass down, or pass up. I would say pass off. What do you guys say? I'm guessing pass off. Pass off, says Sylvia. That's what I think. Pass off. I would have just said pass without any adding extra words myself, but yeah, I think pass off, right? No. Oh, I hit the wrong one. So we actually got that one right. So I did mean to say pass off. So we're still 3 for 3. I just clicked the wrong button. Next. John's professor advised him not to blank, but to stick, to his original project, since he was already halfway through it. John's professor advised him not to blank, but to stick to his original project. Count his chickens before they were hatched, cross the bridge when he came to it, change horses midstream, cast pearls before swine, beat around the bush. You guys, I don't know this one. Who can help me? Who can help me? I know it's not count your chickens. Cast your pearls, no. What is the answer for this one? So it sounds like John's professor advised him not to, it seems like stop, right? But to stick to his original project, since he was already halfway there. Which would you guys say? What is your answer? Change horses, cross the bridge. Most of we have change horses. So let me see. I'm going to make sure I click the right one this time. Change horses. Yes. Next. I never had heard of that phrase before. I had never heard of that one. Gina's interest, all these crazy ads. Gina's interest in astronomy has blank. She is not as intrigued by the subject as she was 5 years ago. So it seems like she has lost interest. Waned, disintegrated, receded, extinguished, subsided. I'm going to say waned. Does anybody else agree with me? When you lose interest, I say it's waned. Waned. I'm going to guess waned, you guys. This one's on me. Yes. Next. Sammy did not want to be held accountable for his mistake, so he blank. So he blank an excuse to escape punishment. He hatched, he forged, he fabricated, he feigned. This one's harder, or he faked. This is tougher. So Sammy did not want to be held accountable for his mistake, so it's like he made up an excuse to escape punishment. What would be the answer? Made up, fabricated, feigned. This one's harder. What do you guys guess? This one is a little more challenging. I don't want to be stuck in 8th grade. Somebody please help. What do you guys think? Fabricated. All right. I was kind of thinking fabricated too. All right, good job. How far are we along in this? We're almost halfway. Ethan reminded his monitor to be very careful when handling his key, as he was unable to give her a blank if she was to lose it. So don't lose it, like a replacement, a duplicate. Oh, okay, so here we go. A duplicate, a copy, a match, a sample, or a replica. So he was not careful when handling his key, as he was unable to give her a blank if she was to lose it. What do you think? This one's hard too. This one is hard too. What do you guys think? I'm kind of thinking a copy or replica. What do you guys think? A duplicate. Everybody's saying duplicate. Okay, I'm way outvoted, so let's go duplicate. All right, good one. Next. I don't know why I didn't think duplicate on that one, but I just didn't seem right. The burglar blanked the exit, thinking that he could make his escape. However, he ran into the arms of the law instead. The burglar blanked the exit. Broke into the exit, broke through, broke off, broke away, broke up. Oh, this is a challenging one too. The burglar blanked the exit, thinking that he could make his escape. However, he ran into the arms of the law instead. So the burglar can't be broke into, broke through. Is it broke through? No, broke through the exit. I say broke through. What do you think? Broke through? You guys think broke through? Broke through, says Sylvie. I think it's broke through. Maybe I'm just reading this wrong. So let's try. Broke through. No, broke into. That one we really got wrong. Did anybody else guess broke in? I've never heard of breaking in the exit. Maybe that's why it's tricky. Everybody said broke through. That's what I thought. Nope. Next. Okay, remember, we really only missed one because I hit the button wrong on one. So we're doing pretty good. Let me blank that we have no plans to start another class in June, the lecturer emphasized every word he said to his students. Let me blank that we have no plans to start another class in June. Is that like, let me be clear? Emphasize every word. Regurgitate, reply, recite, reiterate, recapitulate. I think it's reiterate, right? Reiterate. What do you guys think? This is a tough one too. I know it's not regurgitate. I know it's not reply. It's reiterate or recapitulate. What do you think? Any help on this one? Reiterate. Okay, I can see a couple of those. We're going to try that one. Yes. Next. 2/3 of the way. The price of meat has blanked due to a flood. That killed most of the livestock in the country. The price of meat has, so it's going to be like increased. improved, mounted, ascended, soared, or climbed. The price of meat has, I would say, soared, right? Do you guys think soared? Or climbed? I think it's soared. What do you think? What do you think? I'm guessing soared. Deb says, and Sylvie says swords. Paula says sword. Awesome. Let's try it. Yes. Next. Getting there. 73%. Torrential downpours over the past week blank the village and disrupted traffic. Torrential downpours over the past week blank the village and disrupted traffic. So flooded, infiltrated, inoculated, inundated, invaded, incubated. I say inundated. Inundated is like overwhelmed. Torrential downpours over the past week inundated the village and disrupted traffic. Does everybody agree, or do you have a different option? I think it can't be infiltrated, inoculated. It could be invaded, but I say inundated. What do you say? Inundated, I had, okay, let's do it. Yeah. When the actor forgot his lines, the audience were very unforgiving and blank at his incompetence. When the actor forgot his lines, the audience were very unforgiving and angry or upset or disappointed. Balked, droned. Ooh, this is a hard one. Cackled, asserted, or teased. I need help on this one. I don't know. I don't know. Can't be asserted at his incompetence. Balked at his incompetence. Is it balked? Can't be droned, asserted, teased? No. What do you guys think? I'm not sure on this one. Somebody help me. I'm phoning my friend. Come on, friends, give me an answer because I don't know this one. I can't get this one. I would guess balked, but I don't know. Cackled. Cackled means like laugh. And some balked, cackled. I think we've got one more cackled than balked, so let's give it a try. Cackled. Whoever said cackle is wrong. I would have said balked, so I was right. Cackled was right. Good job. Cackled is like laughing, right? Is cackling like laughing? Like it isn't in like a mean way? The novel became a bestseller after blank in the newspaper praised the novelist's writing skills. Let's get rid of that. The novel became a bestseller after blank in the newspaper praised the novelist's writing skill. The reviews, the blurbs, the citations, excerpts, the extracts became a bestseller after reviews. I would say reviews. What do you think? So somebody's talking nicely about a book you wrote. Would they write a review in the newspaper? Is that what you would call it? I say review. Okay, we got some reviews on here, so we're going to try that. Yes. Next, we're almost done. 93, and we might have 2 left. Every summer, hordes of tourists blank the beach for the sun, the sea, and the breeze. So it could be like flood, overwhelm, crowd. What are we thinking? Headed, dawdled, mob, invade, conquer. Every summer, hordes of tourists invade the beach, mob the beach. What do you think? I think I would go, there's conquer. I would say invade. What do you think? What do you guys think? Invade or mob? We got 1 mob and 2 invades. Anybody else? Anybody else? Janet says headed now. Janet says invade. We're going to go for invade. Yes. This should be the last one. Last question. The iron was too hot and it resulted in Zoe's favorite dress being, did it get burnt? Did it get ruined, flamed, seared, charred, grilled, or singed? This is a tough one too. It can't be flamed. So if the favorite outfit, the dress was It got burnt. Would it be seared, charred, grilled, or singed? What if you do something material and you burn it? What do you call that? Singed? Okay, you guys know better than me. Singed. Woof. Show me the results. Now remember, we did get one wrong because Ken pressed the wrong button. Okay, so we should only have one wrong if this added it up. If we take away that one, let's see. Where are our results? Where are they? Where's our results? No. Where does it show the results? Skip to the results. There. I thought they were going to hold out. You got 13 out of 15. Yes. So really we got 14 out of 15. 14 out of 15. That is definitely an A. Definitely an A. We only got one wrong. What was the one we got wrong? Anyhow, not bad. Not bad. 14 out of 15. Because remember, Ken hit the button wrong on one of them. So we'll take it. 14 out of 15. Way to go. So if you guys should all be proud of yourself. You can clap your hands or pat yourself on the back or cheer each other on, whatever you want to do. So 14 out of 15. That's pretty good. All right, let's fix this here and let's get back to our crafting here. We're going to look at that Sandcastle set. If I can get rid of this, I'm going to get rid of that one. There we are. Okay, let's go ahead and die cut. Get back to this. Way to go, everybody. We got an A at 8th graders. We really did graduate 8th grade. We only missed one. If it would have been up to just me, we might have been more down in the 80% range because I think a couple of those I would have got wrong. So let's check these out. Again, we have lost camera number 2 over here. I think the battery ran out, but that's okay. All right, here you go. Remember, just 2 dies. Oh, I was supposed to show you. Well, after we die cut, I'll show you real quick on the website. So this is easy. This is your main part of your die. This is the inside. This die is going to kind of do most of the fun stuff. So let's see what we can do here real quick. And I'm looking for some sandy colors. And I've got that. That would work. What else do we have? Yeah, that's not as great. Let's see what this color is. I kind of need 2 that match. No, those don't quite match, but that will work. That will work. Okay, we're going to take this, and remember on a folded card, you got to make the base first. So you have to, remember how it's a folded card, you have to take your cardstock and you fold it in half. Fold it in half, just like that, simple. If you have a score tool or a bone folder or something like that, you might want to run that along just to get a nice crease on there. And then you're going to take your, let me get some of this other stuff out of the way so we have extra space. This is from, when are we again? Let me add that back up there. So you can see this is from, going way back to July of 2021, the 5x7 Sandcastle. We have our fold it there. We're going to take this die, and the die has to go just over the edge of the fold for this to work, okay? If you wanted it to be a side fold, your fold would have to be over here, and your die would go just to the edge there. But we're going top. So let's run it through the machine and do that. Again, thanks everybody for helping us get an A today on our 8th grade quiz. Woohoo! We can be, I don't know. I wouldn't say we could be proud of ourselves, but we did it anyway. We're as smart as 8th graders, at least. Whoa, so that just means my platform was a little out of alignment. Sorry about that squeaking. Here we have our base to our Sandcastle. Good. Everything's good except, look at that. That's not right. So we can't just use this. We have to cover that up. There is a straight line at the top of our Sandcastle, but look at our die. It should have a nice curve there. So we got to fix that. So we're going to take we're going to take this one here. And the colors are a little bit different, so you'll see how they're layered. But normally you'd want to use the same color as this, but to speed things up, and so I don't have to go looking for extra cardstock, we will use this. And actually, I think I can do this. I ran this through yesterday with this color. So let's give this one a try. See if that will fit. Yep, I have just enough cardstock. And this might actually be the same. Ooh, this matches. So this will work. This is better. This is better. Get our platform here. All set up. Let me scoot that over so you can see. I'll make sure this is lined up correctly this time so we don't get all that crazy squeaking. And it just barely fits on there. Let's run it through one more time. Okay, and there is our nicely cut sandcastle. It's going to cover up that edge where we had, look at that. That will just layer over that, right? See how it looks nice matching the same color? That is much better. So let's put some adhesive on here. And again, fold-its. We've done so many fold-its. I know you guys know how to do these. They're easy. Maybe you're new. A2 card. This is a 5x7, but most of them are A2 in size. But an A2 is just like an image shaped card. They're fun and mostly easy to do. Pretty simple. There we have it. So there is our card front. Opens up like that. Now we just need to get the inside die. And you can paper piece with this, but we're just going to cut out one nice color, something that will contrast with that. This won't really be a beach look, but it'll really stand out so you can see it. So we've got some type of cranberry maybe type of color here. And we're going to run this. Again, our die is face down. We're going to get this whole image and we're just going to add it to the front of that card. And we will wrap up our demo section. Again, this is on the website. Great for summer cards, even with spring now being warm. You want something that looks beach themed or summer themed. This is really going to work great for that. And it coordinates with lots of our other stamps. Dies. We have like beach to stamp. There's some Steffi dolls where she's at the beach. You could put the little kids like the Liam and Miller at the beach, maybe some of our characters. So here we have the sandcastle is cut out. We're going to add some adhesive to that. And we'll do that if I can find my adhesive. Where did that go? There it is. Turn this right here over some scratch paper. Make sure I have that the right way. That looks good. We'll want to be a little more delicate with this one because this pieces could tear apart. And again, it's designed so you can get some different colors of cardstock. If you wanted to mix and match, you could do that. So you'll see the windows pop out. You can decorate your castle. So here we have the main folded. I'm just going to take this, and this would be the decorative part. Will that pop? Those pop out there? There's a couple there. One there in the center. We pop that out, and we'll just lay that on top. Boom. Was that easy or what? That is so easy. Here you have your card. You could take some, I'm not sure that these necessarily coordinate. You could take some little embellishments, add it there, some buckets, some shovels, decorate a little, add some sentiments on there. Easy, easy, easy. I told you folded cards are easy. So this is the 5x7 Sandcastle folded card die set from the Stamps of Life. And you could add little colors here to your flags. You can mix and match with your castle. You can decorate it all however you want. Okay. Hope you like that. Again, it was an easy one, fun. I like those kind of cards. Super, super simple, super easy. That is my kind of card. That is my kind of card. So you can get that on the Stamps of Life website. And all right, that wraps it up. Oh, let me show you. I didn't get to show you the website. So if you want to find this on the website, you'll just go over to stampsoflife.com, and I already have this added up. And if you just added Sandcastle in, and this would pop right up for you. So you just type in Sandcastle, and most likely it's going to show you the other items that are kind of associated with it. So here we are, 5x7 Sandcastle on the website. The perfect shaped card to coordinate with Sandcastle the stamp. So you go down here, and we have the other Sandcastle items that we have. Look, there's the buckets, the shovels, a bunch of sentiments, dies. There's the more sand to stamp, Those are all on the website. Then, of course, you'd like to have some cardstock like that, the Ginger Snap. Maybe you want Ginger Snap ink. That's there. There's the Steffi doll at the beach. Shells to stamp would be nice to decorate that with. So that's all. All you have to do is just type in Sandcastle. It's going to take you to this page. And, of course, you can run through and look at all the cool samples. I think we saw some of these here. Maybe all of them. Oh, there's a few different ones that we didn't get to see here. There's a different idea too. So a bunch of different nice ideas. And of course, there's a video right there. And you see Stephanie decorating her sandcastle. And those are all on the website. And then let me see. So if you need even more ideas, you would just click on this view idea gallery. And that will take you to the idea gallery page where you'll find even more ideas. All right. So that is on the Stamps of Life website. Hope you like that. All right, we're wrapping things up here. We're going to do our devotional time right now, our good news segment. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you are all having a fun time. Again, if you're jumping in late and watching with us, you can still add comments down below. And even while we're doing our devotional time, if you have some comments or you feel like God's speaking to you about something, we love to hear from you. If there's something you need prayer for, you can do that. If you're after this was live, the recording, you can add all your comments down below. So we're in Proverbs chapter 15. We're opening up our Bibles today. And let me find our main verse. That's okay, Barbara. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, you can come back and check this out later. We are in Proverbs 15. And we're hoping that God will speak to us. That is our plan. We want to hear from him. So let's open up our Bibles, and even before we read, let's go ahead and let's pray together real quick, okay? Father, thank you so much for this time we've been able to spend together, and we just pray as we open up your word right now that you would speak to each of us. I know you have a special message, ways you want to reach all of us, that you love us and care about us. So, and this time, may we just hear your voice, and may we respond to what you share with us. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, Proverbs 15. We are in Proverbs 15. Most of these Proverbs are by Solomon. God had given him wisdom, and so the Bible, outside of, I would say, Jesus, Solomon is known as the wisest person ever on the earth. So he gave us these Proverbs, and there's a ton of them. We are in Proverbs 15, and I'll flash that up on the screen so you can see what we are talking about here. This will kind of be our starting point. I do have a couple verses to add to this, but this will be our main topic here. Here we go. So it says, he who disdains instruction despises his own soul, but he who heeds rebuke gets understanding. From Proverbs 15:32. So before we even get to this, get really started on this, do you find it hard to receive instruction or correction? You can answer if you want in the chat or not. It could be like a personal. I know for me personally, it is not easy to accept correction or instruction, or to be told that I'm wrong or I need to do it this way, right? So for me, it's not easy. How do you feel when people try to correct you or instruct you or advise you? Sometimes we have the response that, hey, now this is kind of with people. With God, I don't think we can argue too much with God about God. And this primarily pertains to when we hear from God. But think about it when somebody points out some failure that we have or some way that we're coming up short. Like, I know some of the time our first response is to say, well, whoops. Our first response is to say, well, who are you to tell me that? I know about the kind of problems you have, and your problems or your mistakes are way bigger than mine. So we kind of have that, right? We put up these walls. So some of the time we do that. And then some of the time we will go on and compare ourselves to other people and say, well, I don't need to fix that because I'm doing way better than that person. You know, it's not good really to compare ourselves to others, because our standard is Jesus. And he's perfect. So when we all realize that we don't compare to him, then, you know, if we're comparing ourselves to each other, we're going to find people we're doing better than and people who are not doing as good as. So it goes both ways. And then there's also sometimes I think we can just be prideful and we think that we don't need anybody to correct us or to challenge us or to say, hey, you need to fix this or do that. So how do you feel about being corrected or challenged to change something? That's kind of what we're talking about today. So we have these words, and let me bring that verse back up today. So again, we're talking about God's instruction and correction for us today. Now, when it comes to God, I think we still sometimes argue and we get defensive and maybe we don't want to meet the challenge. But let's look at this verse. So I'm going to give you some of these terms here because there's some words that we don't always use. But the word disdain kind of means it generally refers to a feeling of contempt or scorn, indicating that someone or something is viewed as unworthy or inferior. So when we go, I don't believe that, or that doesn't make sense to me, or that's no good, that's kind of like disdain. And then the next word, instruction. Instruction in the Bible is a fundamental concept that encompasses teaching, guidance, and the impartation of wisdom. It's a divine mandate that we find in the scriptures. It's important that we learn and adhere to God's commandments and principles. So when we read something and we know this is what God wants us to do, instruction, when he's instructing us, it's important that we do it. Then the next word, rebuke. These are all kind of, again, words that we don't always use. In biblical terms, refers to the sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or action. So if you pay attention to that, it's a good thing for you. When somebody's trying to correct you or God's trying to correct us, it's good to pay attention to it. It says heed it. Heed that correction when we're being challenged. And then the last word, understanding, refers to the ability to discern, comprehend, and apply knowledge and wisdom in accordance with God's will. This is really, really important. So if we pay attention to God correcting us, it says we're going to get understanding. And it's going to get us understanding that gets our heart in alignment with what God's will is for our life and his purposes for our life. And don't we want to do that? Don't we want to be in alignment with what God is telling us and instructing us? So that kind of defines some of those things. But you see there at the end, it says that at the beginning of that verse, let me pop it up again. It says what? If you don't pay attention to instruction, or you say, I don't get this, or this is not for me, or I don't like it. I know the Bible says that, but I'm not going to do it. You despise your own soul. It says that can't be good, right? To despise your own soul doesn't sound like a good thing. So I looked at some of the other translations. We're using the New King James Version there. That's what we use at our church. So I'm just kind of used to it. But some of the other ones, NIV says those who disregard discipline despise themselves. That's not a good thing. The ESV says whoever ignores instruction despises himself. The NET says the one who refuses correction despises himself. And the New Living Translation says, if you reject discipline, you only harm yourself. Now, why would any of us want to hurt ourselves, right? Hurt ourselves. It doesn't make sense. But some of the time we do that. So when you think back over, we've been doing these good news segments for about a year and a half. And we've gone through a lot of different topics. And so ask yourself, and I have to ask myself, how have I been responding to the teachings that we've been getting from God's word, instruction that we've gained? So some of the topics that we've talked about over the last year and a half, we have gone over, I wrote some of these down. We've taught, when we were getting instruction from God, we talked about being thankful. We've talked about forgiveness. We went through the 10 Commandments. We did all those together. We've spoken about prayer. We did a big subject on prayer and kind of divided it up and how important it is for us to pray. We touched a little bit on fasting, kind of like a spiritual thing that we can do, just to fast. Could be from food or from other stuff. Give up something and get closer to God. Being careful with our words. We've talked about that a lot recently. Overcoming doubts or fears. And we've looked at a bunch of different topics. Remember, we went through the book of Matthew. So there's a whole bunch of things that we've learned over the whole last year. But now the key is, now we have to ask ourselves, what have we done with these things that we've been taught? Have we tackled these things? Have we engaged with them? Have we started to put them into practice in our lives? Or have we just kind of Have we just kind of pushed them off to the side and ignored it? Even though we felt like maybe God was speaking to us about some topic, did we engage? Did we say, I'm going to change? I am going to believe what God has said, and I'm going to start to put this into practice. I'm going to start to do this different. Have we done anything about it? Or have we just tried? Maybe we tried to do something and we weren't successful and we just gave up. Sometimes that happens too. Have we just quit? We knew God wanted us to do something or to change something about our lives, but did we just resolve to, well, I just can't do that? Or were there just some things that we were just unwilling or defensive about, and we said, well, I know that's what God says, but I'm just not going to do it. So which one of those kind of areas do you find yourself falling into? And maybe there's some areas you have worked on and some you failed in, and then there's some you have just refused to work on. Same thing for me. There's some things that I know I should be doing this more. And there's some things that I'm all, well, I tried and it just didn't work out. And then there's some things where I can't do that, or I don't want to do that. I fall into all of those subjects. We probably all do, right? We probably all do. But it's important that we don't just ignore what God says to us. It says right there, it says, if we disdain the instruction, what does it say? It says let me find that verse again. Proverbs 15, it says, who disdains instruction, like just counts it as worthless and no good, you despise your own soul. You're bringing harm to yourself. So we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to bring harm to ourselves just by refusing God's instruction. So let me have a couple companion verses here. So in Proverbs, again, we have this verse, and this is kind of talking about the importance of knowledge and instruction and how it can be good for us. So let's see what this one says. Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge. This is kind of funny, but he who hates correction is stupid. Kind of just gets to the point. So sometimes we need to be corrected. And if we hate it, the Bible says we're stupid. So there we go. And then let's see, this one from 2 Timothy is a good one. All scripture, so all the Bible, is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God, man or woman of God, may be complete, thoroughly equipped for every good work. So that's right there. Very good. And then our last verse we are going to find is, let me get this last verse. I think we're back in Proverbs again. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. We've talked about that, the fear of the Lord, respecting and honoring God. We get understanding. We get these practical things that we can put into our life. So this is in regards, what we talked about today is kind of spiritual matters and biblical matters. Of course, I think that a lot of these things we could, of course, add to the way we practically live. We want to receive instruction, correction, not be so defensive, but especially when we're reading God's word and we hear that God is speaking to us, we want to take it and we want to apply it to our lives. It's no good if we just ignore it or we put it off or we give up or we quit. But all that being said, we have limited power and strength of ourselves. So what do we need to do? We need to ask that God would help us and give us the power and ability to change or be different or do things different than we ever have in the past. Or to give us that spirit of not quitting or not giving up. See, because God saved us and he loves us just as we are, but you know what? He wants to change us. He wants to make us more like Jesus. He doesn't want us just to stay in the current state that we are in. So we should always be evolving, becoming more and more Christ-like. That doesn't mean being perfect or having it all together, but we should be seeing evidence in our lives that God is changing us and making us more and more like him. That is the plan. And it doesn't mean we're all going to be exactly the same. We're all unique and individuals. And so God's going to work with each of us on different areas in our lives. But it's up to us to be open to instruction and correction from God, knowing that he loves us and that he wants the best for us, right? Okay, let's pray again together as we wrap it up. Let's ask God to help us. Father, thank you for your word today. And again, that we could be together like this and, even over the internet, maybe we're thousands of miles apart from each other, but we can share your word and thoughts and we can have some fun together. And we're just so blessed that you love us and really want to thank you for your patience and your kindness with us. And it's our desire that we would be people who are willing to change, that we would be flexible. We would not just get stuck in our ways, but we would be, Lord, all that you want us to be. So help us. We pray, give us the power to be more and more like you. Show us how to love, serve, be a blessing to people around us, show to be more kind, forgiving. And then I think of all the things, just to obey your word and do the things that you've called us to do. I believe you have called each of us to do something, maybe even today, to change, to do something different, to get outside of our comfort zone. So help us to be the kind of people that can be used by you and who are open to your love, correction, kindness, and especially we want your blessings. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, that is a wrap for today. Trying to stay cool here, shipping stuff. I will see you Thursday night on Crafting Corner. I might pop in there, but Stephanie will be there for sure. We'll have some fun. Hopefully at some point in the future, we get some of those items we've been missing that have been our stuck in customs. We hope to get that going soon. So sorry for those things that have not shown up on the website lately. Again, it's not our plan. We do the videos ahead of time and then the items aren't there. It's been kind of frustrating and disappointing, but God will work all these things out, right? We just got to trust that. So I want you all to have an awesome day. And I hope that if God spoke to you today about something, that you'll take on that challenge to do something good for yourself and get in agreement with God and be willing to do what he wants you to do. You'll be really blessed if you do that. So I hope you will. And I hope I will too. Be praying for me, because you know what? I need help too. I need God's help in a lot of areas in my life to be all that he wants me to be. Okay, that's it. Again, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your afternoon, whatever you are up to. If you're working or at home or hanging out, if you're making cards, any of those things, have a fun day. Enjoy all of your blessings. I will plan on seeing you next Tuesday, and we'll find some fun game to do. We'll look at some new items. But in the meantime, if you want to see what's new on the website, stop by. There are a couple of new items on there, and there's always just fun. If you just need some inspiration or something cool to look at, that is always available on the Stamps of Life website. So have a fun day, and I will see you soon. Let me find my sign-off screen. Bye now. Take care.